Hello, my name is Okori Johnson. I'm a looping, improvising, storytelling cellist whose music sits at the intersection of classical and jazz, and it's also rooted in the inspiration of the African diaspora. I perform under the name OkCello. I'm excited to be your host for the 2021 Talent Development Program recital. It's an honor to be selected first and foremost to celebrate the accomplishments and the stories of these amazing seniors. But also, in some ways, I feel very connected to this moment, as I was one of them many, many years ago. In 1993, I performed a senior recital for Landon School in Bethesda, Maryland, of Haydn's Cello Concerto in C, with the Beethoven Pops Orchestra, directed by Peter Weileman, my then orchestra teacher. It was a major moment in my life, and it was the pinnacle for me of many years of hard work. I was a black boy in Washington, D.C., playing an instrument that many did not associate with being black, and that came with many challenges. Some were especially critical of me and my talent. Others were dismissive of it and assumed that I got special treatment because of my race. However, this senior recital was an important one for me, as all aspects of my community came together to witness how hard I had worked and to observe how much I loved making music. It did not heal all wounds associated with the difficulty of being a black boy playing the cello, but it was a moment of recognition that made me feel visible and helped me identify my own value as a musician and an artist. Though I did not go to conservatory or music school afterwards, music did find a way of staying central in my life, often in spite of my sending it to the periphery. But what kept me coming back was my love for my instrument, my love for the way I felt when I played it, and my love for the power of connecting with audiences and sharing sounds and emotions and ideas with them. And if there's anything I'd like to celebrate and model for these amazing seniors that we will spend time with today, it is that they embrace the love of music, of making it, of studying it, of sharing it, of being it. And that is what I think is the greatest legacy that the Talent Development Program leaves with its students, a love of their instrument, of music, and of making music that allows them to thrive no matter what obstacles they face as black and brown musicians in this world. Many of you joining us are very familiar with the incredible work that the Talent Development Program has been doing now for 27 years here in Atlanta. But for those of you who are new, we wanted to take a moment to give a quick introduction.
The Talent Development Program was an initiative started by our gracious founders, Mrs. Azira Hill and Miss Mary Grambling, who saw a need to help young black students in the city of Atlanta have the opportunity to become more enriched in the classical music side, while also helping to bring the African American community into the Atlanta Symphony Hall for concerts.
There was no education program. And when we started asking what is it that is such a, not great participation in the youth symphony, for instance, they say that most blacks don't know how to audition. So I said, well, why not teach them?
TDP is unique in the way that it's not just, students come in, they work with the teacher, and then that's it. We also have a lot of mentorship opportunities. Along with their teachers, we also have volunteers, alumni parents that we like to pair our new families with that really help keep them focused and diligent in what they're required to do to be successful in TDP. Over the past 3 years, our recent graduates have been offered a total of $3 million in scholarship, and it's been great to see how they've come through the program and how they've progressed to get to that level, and we're excited to see where they go forward in their musical careers.
At 97 years young, Miss Azira G. Hill and several of the other founding members of the TDP continue to be actively involved in all aspects of the Talent Development Program. At the close of each school year, each of the ASO's 25 TDP students is featured in the spring recital performances. While the ASO has moved heaven and earth to continue this vital program during the pandemic, it still felt like the time was not quite right to bring people together in person for this event. So we were happy to bring it to you virtually. Over the next hour, we will showcase performances by our 4 graduating seniors, and I'll have a chance to speak with them about their TDP journey, as well as their exciting next chapter. But never fear, we know you all have friends and family you want to see, and the ASO is making all of the spring recital performances available on aso.org/TDP. So I'm excited for the evening. I'm excited to meet and talk with these seniors. Let's get started. Thank you so much for having me. So here we are with Alex and with Kaylin, two of our 4 TDP program seniors. And in just a little bit, we're going to get a chance to hear their pieces, their senior recitals. But before we get a chance to hear that, I'm excited that we have an opportunity to learn a little bit more about them. So I'm going to start by asking if you all could share with us just a little bit about your musical journey.
Okay. Yeah. So I started playing the clarinet when I was in 6th grade, and well, obviously I'm a senior now, so now it's 6 years of playing the clarinet. And throughout high school, I've been able to participate in ASYO, Atlanta Symphony Youth Orchestra, Atlanta Youth Wind Symphony, and Emory Youth Symphony Orchestra, and just various summer programs.
Kaylin, tell us a little bit about your musical journey, if you could.
I started playing in 6th grade, so this is my 6th year playing. I've been in the Atlanta Symphony Youth Orchestra, the Atlanta Junior Chamber Orchestra, and right now I'm in the Emory Youth Symphony Orchestra, and I play the violin.
Wonderful. Can I just say I'm so impressed with you both, because 6 years is actually not a lot of time to be playing the clarinet or the violin and to be as accomplished as both of you are. So congratulations, that's really impressive.
Thank you.
How many years have you been with the TDP, or with the Talent Development Program?
I started TDP in freshman year, so that would be total 4 years.
Okay, and you?
I started as a junior, so 2 years.
Okay, wonderful. So the Talent Development Program is a really special and unique program, and I'd love to know if there's anything particular to your experience at the Talent Development Program that you remember, or that you think is really important, or that you value going forward.
For me, the Talent Development Program has been able to expand my knowledge and the ability of making connections with other musicians. So going forward, I feel like that's a really valuable thing to have.
Networking is really important, isn't it?
For sure.
Very much so. Wonderful. Thank you, Alex. Kaylin?
For me, I really like the private lessons that TDP offers. Before TDP, we couldn't do weekly lessons, so being able to do that consistently has really improved my playing, so that's what I really enjoy.
Wonderful, wonderful. So this is a very exciting time in your lives, I'm sure. Lots of perhaps opportunities and decisions. So if you know what's next for you, could you share that with us?
I will be going to Northwestern University to double in music performance and art history.
Wonderful, wonderful. Are you excited about one more than the other? I mean, a double degree sounds like you're kind of equally invested.
I'm more excited about violin because the Beanan School of Music is a conservatory within Northwestern.
Okay.
So I really feel like I'll grow exponentially there. And art history, I feel like I've always enjoyed history, and I feel like majoring in that as well will give me a new layer or perspective to draw on and infuse into my playing.
Wonderful. Exciting. Well, congratulations. Thank you. Good stuff. All right, Alex?
And for me, I'm actually deciding between the University of Georgia and the University of Texas at Austin to pursue a degree in clarinet performance.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what are the benefits of each? Like, are you allowed to talk about that now, or what's informing those decisions?
Well, I'd prefer definitely, both of them have really good programs with the wind ensemble, and both have amazing teachers. And Texas, obviously everything is bigger in Texas, so the programs there are massive.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still have to decide between the two, so.
Okay. Well, congratulations as well, and best of luck on that decision.
Thank you.
So the last question I want to ask you is, what do you love? What do you love about your instrument? What do you love about being a musician? What do you love about making music? The love of my instrument, the love of the experience of making music has been the thing that has kept my instrument center in my life. And it's one thing I'd like you to think about. Just because as life throws you a lot of different things, you never know where you're going to end up. But if there's a love, a deep, passionate love for what it is you do, and the work that you've already done, I think it can create really rich experiences for you. So, what do you love about playing the clarinet? What do you love about playing the violin? And how will that show up, do you think, in your life going forward?
One thing I love about the clarinet is definitely, this is such a broad thing to say, but it's sound. But the sound can be so resonant in different areas, and whenever you're playing, and obviously this amazing hall, just the last note you play with just the piece you're playing, it just echoes, and it just sounds so amazing.
I think my favorite clarinet solo, although it's probably not the most celebrated solo in the rep, is in Rhapsody in Blue. In the very beginning.
Yes.
Oh, it's such a gorgeous.
It's so good.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, that clarinet solo is gorgeous. All right, so great, the sound. All right, Kaylin.
What I love most about the violin is that hearing the violin, hearing the music, it can be interpreted in different ways. And like as an audience member, that's what I really enjoyed listening to. So being able to, I guess, try to recreate that experience for someone else is what like I'm working towards.
So just the experience of, or the power of creating an experience through what you play for other people. That sounds great, exciting. Well, I've really enjoyed getting a chance to talk with you both. I can't wait to hear you play. I'm really impressed with what you've accomplished, and I'm excited about hearing all the wonderful things that you do when you go out into the future. So thank you so much, Alex and Kaylin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So here we are with the second pair of our 4 Talent Development Program seniors. With us we have Rodney and Gordon. Rodney, who plays percussion, and Gordon, who plays violin. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you a few questions, but I think ultimately it's just about your story. So why don't we just get started with that? Please tell us a little bit about your musical journey to this point.
Well, I started off in the church. Everyone basically in my family plays drum set or some type of electric instrument. And then in elementary, I was invited to play in a rock band by my teacher who taught me how to read music, which helped me get to this point in TDP.
Wonderful. What kind of music did you play in your rock band?
We play a bunch of stuff like AC/DC.
All right.
Everything, basically.
Exciting, exciting. Very cool. Thank you, Rodney. Gordon?
I'm originally from Seattle.
Okay.
Started playing violin when I was 4. Both my parents are pianists, and I guess a hidden rule in our household is you have to play an instrument. So, started playing violin. Then we moved from Georgia, and my mom was just researching just opportunities for me to play violin, and we found the TDP, and it's just taken off ever since.
Wonderful. So can both of you give me just a few stats? How long have you been playing your instrument, and how long have you been in the Talent Development Program?
Well, I've been playing drum set since I was 2 years old.
2?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay.
I started very young.
Very young.
And I've been in TDP for about 4 years.
All right. Wonderful. All right, Gordon?
I started playing violin since I've been 4,
Okay.
and have been in the TDP since 8th grade.
All right, so the Talent Development Program is a fairly unique thing, and it's a really great program. And if there's one thing from your TDP experience that you remember, that you think is important, or that you would like to share with us, what would that be?
I would say be your authentic self while performing, and then try to engage others while performing, and learn as much as possible from your teachers and from your peers.
What do you mean about being your authentic self when performing? I love that. That's great. What do you mean? Can you say more?
Try and connect with the audience. Sometimes with classical music, we try and just focus on the notes. But when you're performing, it's more than just the notes. It's about connecting with the audience, telling your own story.
Wonderful. So glad that you said that. Thank you so much, Rodney. Appreciate that. Gordon?
Just the opportunity to have things like juries, because when auditioning for conservatory, I know the difficult times now was over Zoom, but having a performance in front of a live audience and in front of people is just big, because I think taking, the Zoom auditions and stuff, it was a lot easier. And the grading system with the TDP, you're graded on your performances, which is really big and really important. That you have critics and there's people out there that are always looking to make sure you do better and you improve.
So it sounds like the Talent Development Program really gave you opportunities to practice performing,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
practice preparing for performing.
Yes, sir.
That ultimately have served you well in the process. Okay, wonderful. That's great to hear. So seniors, you've got just a few weeks left, and then maybe a few months, and then you're off somewhere else. So if you know where you're going, can you share that with us? Rodney, will you start us off?
Well, I'll be heading off to Bard College in Annandale, New York, on a full ride under the direction of So Percussion.
Wow, excellent, excellent, excellent. Is there a particular instrument that you'll focus on, or is it will percussion kind of expose you to everything?
Well, I'll be majoring in music performance and economics.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful, exciting. And so Gordon?
I'm going to be going to the University of Cincinnati on a full ride, and I'm going to be majoring in violin and solo performance. I actually received the Darwin T. Turner Scholarship, which is a scholarship that you're required to do a certain community service. And since I'm a part of the TDP and it helps minorities, I really want to go into the inner city of Cincinnati, because it is some areas are very, they don't have as much opportunities as others. And I want to go to certain schools and maybe go to the Boys and Girls Club and help minorities and youth and get them involved in classical music somehow.
So there's an audition process for getting into the Talent Development Program. And if you were going to give some advice to someone who was considering auditioning, what would you say to them? What do you think they need to know?
I would say come prepared, know your music, don't be too hard on yourself. They're gonna love you no matter what, because they love classical music. If you get in, just try and learn as much from your teacher as possible, and take advantage of all the opportunities such as concerts, summer camps, mentorships, master classes. Learn as much as possible.
Wonderful. All right, that sounds great. Thank you, Rodney. Gordon?
I think one of the biggest things with auditioning is your character, because character can go a long way. And I know playing is very important, but making a good first impression with everyone, I think, is the biggest thing.
Auditioning is your character. I love that. Is that your phrase?
I think it's a little bit with my mom as well.
Okay.
But I think I've learned to grow with that phrase because I think it truly is the most important thing.
Wow, that's wonderful. I love that. So in just a few months, you're going to be on another campus at another school. And what are you looking to most about that experience, about going to college?
I would say performing on a high level with my peers and my teachers, and being around So Percussion, who's so amazing.
Nice, wonderful. Okay. And you, Gordon?
I'm looking forward to making new relationships with people, being able to hear a new voice in my learning, new competition, being able to see what other people have put into their craft, and how hard they've worked to see and to appreciate what they do as well.
All right. Sounds like there's some inspiration there, right? In those new relationships, there'll be an opportunity to inspire you to,
Yes, sir.
to your own heights. That's exciting. So what are the things that you love about your instrument? What are the things that you love about playing music that you think will be central to your life going forward and that you're going to try and remember, specifically about how the Talent Development Program has prepared you for that love?
Well, the talent development has prepared me by putting me with a great teacher like Bill Wilder, who doesn't just focus on one aspect of percussion. Like, he helps me be diverse as possible. And that's the one thing I love about percussion, because it's not defined as one thing. It's so like creative. You can do whatever you want. I mean, you can take a trash can and write a piece. With the pandemic, I had a chance to perform with the NYU seminar with Sandbox Percussion, and we use cans and everything for our piece. So I love how creative percussion is.
Wow, that's wonderful. Great, great, great. Thank you. What about you, Gordon?
I just think violin's just been a part of me all my life, that it's me. That's just who I am. I think with taking the violin from me, it's just I'm not myself. And for the past couple weeks, I was injured and I didn't really get to play. And it's like the OCD kicked in. It's like I can't practice, and it's terrible. This isn't me. I felt horrible, and just without violin, I'm not myself.
Wow. So in some ways, loving the violin is like loving yourself.
You could say, I guess you could say that.
That's great. That's great.
It's just, it's like mental health. It's just, it's a part of me. I can't live without it.
That is excellent. I love that. Well, I am really so impressed with the two of you. I'm very excited for your futures. I'm honored to have had an opportunity to talk with you, and I'm looking forward to hearing you play. So thank you so much for sitting and talking with me. And here's to a really, really wonderful, loving future with your instrument. Wow. I hope you enjoyed those performances as much as I did. It's been my honor and privilege to be with you tonight. In addition to our talented young musicians, a special thanks to pianist Sharon Berenson, Talent Development Program Manager Ryan Walks, the dedicated TDP volunteers and supporters, and to the many musicians of the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra who provide vital instruction and mentorship for the Talent Development Program Fellows. It's my pleasure and honor to close the celebration with one of my original songs, Liminal. It's one of my favorite words and one of my favorite songs to perform. And I just want to thank you. Thank you for inviting me to participate in this special season finale. We look forward to being together in person next year. So my name is OkCello Johnson, and I hope you enjoy my final performance of Liminal. Thank you.